Well, we finally made it back from the PGA show. Now I can say welcome back to the McGolf shop instead of welcome back to the PGA show. It was a week-long evolution and probably one of the better ones we've had in the last 13-14 years that we've been going down there. So what I like doing, and you'll see it on the Club Maker blog on the website, a description of the things that I saw, lots and lots of pictures. I'm going to try and incorporate some into the video, so hopefully this works out pretty well for us. What I'm going to do here is we're going to recap. You can go on to the YouTube channel, and if you want to see them all, just subscribe or even like this video, and it should link you to the rest. And we're going to go over what we saw from day one and go over some really cool things. Now, let me preface this with, there is a ton of stuff at the PGA show to see. And like going to Disney, you're never ever going to see it all. You got to go in there with a plan, and you have to know the vendors that you need to see, the vendors that you would like to see, and the vendors you might see. And I told you earlier that we actually had 49 vendors to go see in 3 days. Well, when I really counted it down, there was only 41. However, based on some of the stuff that you guys sent me, I had to actually add 7 more in, and then I added the skate caddy, which made it back into 49. So I really hit 49. So let's get started. Day one for us was the Acra Demo Day. The Acra Demo Day is basically a collection of some of the best club makers on the planet and that use the Acra and now True Temper products. You've heard the term PFC, Performance Fitting Center, or something along the lines. That's the representation of the True Temper / rifle product. They'll have Acra fitting centers, which are people that use the Acra product. Now, typically they combine themselves. If you're going to use one, you're going to use the other. Last year we didn't do much with the True Temper. However, this year a surprise came to us, and Rifle is coming out with a taper tip that I can use to put in some of your clubs to do frequency matching with taper tips. Now, frequency matching with taper tips is a kind of a tricky subject to begin with. However, if we can do it, these guys will put it off. Now, the other cool part is it's only going to be available to guys like me in custom fitting centers. So if you want the rifle product like this, you're going to have to go to a fitting center. So you have to see the PFC listing. The other part is you can also personalize this. So if you don't like this blue, they have a green, they have a red, and I believe they have a black. So you can get something to match your personality as well as the ball flight. Now, my favorite is the parallel tip in the very same thing, so we can manipulate the flight. In Ohio, I'm one of only 2 of the advanced rifle centers, assuming they still do that thing. So this will be, you'll start seeing this to show back up in our shop. Secondly, from Acra. Acra is a 125 gram graphite shaft wedge shaft. It is weighted in such a fashion that I think it was going to be extraordinarily cool, to the point I think it's going to find its way into my bag. It has a weave. If you see where it kind of discolors itself right here, it's a bit of a weave right in this area to kind of give it strength. The other cool part about this, if you look at, see where I have to put my hand in order for this to balance, it's way up here, and it's very much at the top end, so a lot of feel is in the hand area, which is really, really nice for me. For somebody else, they may not like it, but this is great. Now, in this particular line, the I-Series line, they're also the look will always be like this with the shaft band now. And they come in multiple weights, multiple flexes, and they also come in custom colors if you so desire. Now they also have engraving, and I'm going to show you some of that here in a minute. So what we're getting here is you're going to find a shaft that's going to basically fit your swing profile and your personality profile, and so that makes for a really cool bag. And last but not least, and guys from Acura, I gotta say thank you right off the bat. I wanted one of these when they first came out. This is the Acura Tour Z 455 M4, which is the stiff flex. This came out as a result of the Ryder Cup. See, little flag. You got the stars and stripes. Goes down into the red. Now, the cool part here is, I don't know if I can get it to you to see it is. If I can get it to focus a little bit. Limited edition, number 4 of 100. Ha! 4 of 100. So I put this in an Epic when we were testing, and I was absolutely killing it. So I'm going to have to do some special work because Callaway has that U-Design stuff, and I have to get me an Epic to fit this. The real problematic problem of this is I really like the black and the green that the Epic comes in, so I'm going to have to figure something out. Okay, so that was demo day. Met some new guys, and I did make a video of it, so you'll be able to see more of there. Great times had by all. Got to meet some people from Wyoming, Scotland, England, Germany, and the foreign country, Connecticut. So it was a good time, and we learned a lot of new stuff. Found some new product that's going to help golfers and make them scores go low. So let's move on. Day 2 for me, which was the PGA demo day, was held at the Orange County National driving range, and that is a 400-yard diameter circle, and it has a lot of topography, so that it's not just a circle this way. It has a lot of ups and downs and hills, so you can do different shots. And there are vendors all the way around. Okay, not just big vendors. Not just they had Callaway and they had Cobra and they had Wilson and they had those guys. But there's also the small guys, like the International Club Makers Guild or a Club Fitters Guild. They're out there with their sponsors, showing everybody what the littler guy can do, and we'll cover some of that. Had some clinics, had some outdoor activities. One of the really cool parts was the golf skate caddy, which is kind of like a surfboard for your golf course. Did a video on that. I would definitely look into that. It looks to be a lot of fun, and as long as you're not very mountainous, it looks like something that you could do. During this time frame, I got to meet Mr. Tim Clark, of the head of Wilson Golf, basically. And guy's very nice, very knowledgeable, very energetic. Something I can see a lot of good things coming from that. With the entire team that he's accomplished, the global marketing director, the design folks, they're all top-notch folks now. So if you get a chance, that V6 iron, super duper. The Triton, we did a review, super duper. We got a lot of good reviews. So there's a lot of good going on with that. The D300 series. The D300 is going to be, the driver's going to be in play on tour, if you can believe that. So when we say that, the days of the romper room driver are over for Wilson. They're getting serious, and I would expect to see even more from them. We saw a lot from the Callaway line. The Callaway line was jam-packed. A lot had to do with the Epic driver, and the other end of it was the putters. The O-Works putters and the Toulon series. They've generated a lot of buzz for that. People are trying to get their hands on the new Indianapolis and the Columbus putters, and to see what the O-Works was all about. And the new Forge wedge, Mr. Cleveland design, and we'll talk some more about that. So long day, but it was a very nice day. We saw some friends, and we got to see some new product, and got to put hands on. You got to put hands on stuff, and that's really the important part. All right. Day one of the PGA show. There's 3 days left. I'm going to go through all the things that I saw. And first, what I'd like to do is we went through the, at the end, we went through the new product pavilion. Now they had another area that we just didn't find until it was too late, of all the new products, and I want to show you a video, but I fell flat on my face with that one, with the knee going out. But I do want to say that we walked through the pavilion. I took some pictures, again, will be on the website. But I wanted to go over something very, very fast. Now, we're going to have to go fast and furious so I don't so I just don't, you know, it doesn't get sleepy and this gets real boring. So hang on. All right, so in there, we had Mark the Putt. Mark the Putt was basically this dabber of paint. Instead of using a ball marker, you would dab and that would be your ball mark. And then when the rains came, it would wash it away. Neat idea if you don't like doing any of the other stuff, but it's a personality thing. They had a caddy clean. A caddy clean was a kit, a tool that you hung from your bag or your cart, and it was like a James Bond tool kit. It had groove cleaners, scrapers, it had the brush, it had a sprayer, had a towel. It just had all kinds of stuff in it in order to keep your clubs in a playing shape. It actually came in a neat little package. Certainly look at that, caddy clean. Holmore putts. Holmore putts got a lot of attention. It would look like basically a little tablet about this big, and you putt 5 times over it, and it analyzes the way the putter's moving, and then it gives you the drills to get you more in line with better putting. So if you're interested in something like that, it's called Holmore putts. Another one, Twisted Frog. We went and saw Twisted Frog because Robin likes frogs. Twisted Frogs was an accessory. I got one. An accessory group, and what they had was one of these. Okay, this is there it is. It's a divot tool, but it's got a little extra finger in there with the idea that you're supposed to go up like that. So that was it, and they had hats and they had some other items, but it's called Twisted Frog. Tee to Green. Tee to Green was an interesting one. As a bunch of Australian folk, and what they do is kind of a virtual golf course that they go around and they track on your iPhone, and then they make a virtual golf course of your course. And then while they're in there and you're on your iPhone looking at it, they also put up virtual signage. So as a golf course, you could have signage without signage being out there. So not as eco-friendly, but you can change those where you would have billboards and things like that quite easily, and it's a great advertising tool. Additionally, they also have, it's good as a yardage marker. You can have basically like an electronic yardage book, and it's easy to set up. The way they were describing it was totally easy. So it's T2 Green, T-E-E 2, the number 2 green. They had a VC golf headphones, and basically what those were, just little over-the-ear headphones, and it was for swinging, and it made kind of a noise as you're in your biggest effort, and so you can get your timing down. And then another one, and quite possibly one of my most favorites, was called Bob. It was Best of Bikes, and it was an electronic bike, an electronic, looked like an electronic motorcycle with giant tires and a place to hold your bag on the back. You sit on the front. Very cool. So look up Best of Bikes. Best of Bikes Golf. Okay, so that was the new stuff. Now, from more of a golf club point of view, we'll start with grips. There's plenty of grips out there. Okay, we're going to only talk about 3. First one was Pure Grip. Pure Grip, 100% rubber, made in the USA grip. We've been carrying them for a while, and all they did for this year was they changed some color. They had kind of some internal reorging going on, which is fine. Our rep Alvin was still staying there, which is a good thing for not only us, but for the rest of the club makers in the industry. He does a really, really good job. They're the ones that really got the whole blow the grip off and blow the grip on wave of grip installation going. So if you prefer a color, much like that goes with your rifle, or with your graphite shaft, or you want a specific color, they certainly are ones to talk about. Secondly is Golf Pride. You can't ever go through grips without talking about Golf Pride. Biggest grip company out there. They introduced what was called the Align, and they're only putting it in their dual decades and their MCC4 grips. Basically, it's a hard durometer line of rubber that runs down the back of the grip. Now, they probably won't like me saying it, but it is what it is. It basically is an external rib. It gives you a feeling of, it's a harder feeling so you can align your fingers. It's actually pretty nice. Last but not least, and as part of it, and again we did a video on this, was putter grips, P2 putter grips. They are made in a different fashion, or modeled in a different fashion, that forces your hands to hold the putter grip in such a fashion that most instructors would like you to have, and it makes you in a line with your arm, and then that way you're swinging in a more consistent professional manner. I like the feel of them, I like the grip of them, and I've got them coming in. So when they come in, I'm going to actually put one on my putter and we'll do a more detailed review of it.